I start this video with a recognition that all the matters that we're addressing in these videos are matters where people hold varying views, where they have different influences and experiences and circumstances. And if the contents of this video don't apply to you directly, then they will likely apply to somebody that you know and love. I recognise that these can be difficult things that we are talking about in these videos. But the aim of the video, whether you are part of the family at Connect Church or whether you are inquiring, is to help you to understand how we see things from what we as the leaders of Connect Church regard as a biblical point of view and how we might work these out pastorally. It is not a detailed exploration of the topic in question. We have sought to arrive at positions and views based on Bible study, research and prayerful consideration, as opposed to going with the flow of public opinion or merely drawing upon our own or upon mainstream church traditions. And the aim of this is not to just give a position on a video and leave it there, but rather to foster prayer, consideration and to have conversations. We keep these things under review, and though the positions in this video are firmly arrived at and held, we are always willing to engage in conversation to learn, to be corrected if we have got something wrong. I want to reassure you that we deal pastorally with each person and their circumstances on an individual basis. And we recognise that there may be a need to have a different approach, to have a slightly different conversation, depending upon a person's age, their spiritual maturity and understanding. The subject of this video is marriage and divorce. And we of course recognise that we live in a society where there are all sorts of marriages, those of mixed or same-sex, arranged marriages, marriages of convenience, and marriages between believers in Jesus and unbelievers. Jesus gives a simple and clear theology of marriage and divorce in Matthew 19, verses 3 to 9, and Matthew 22, verses 23 to 32. Here, he is being tested by two groups of religious scholars in the context of the legalities of divorce. In the culture of the time, divorce was commonplace, and a husband could divorce his wife for trivial reasons. Regulations were put in place to protect wives. Jesus addresses these tests by affirming and reiterating Genesis 1:27, that men and women are created in God's image, and Genesis 2:24, that a man leaves his family and is joined to his wife and they become one person. In Matthew 19 verse 6, Jesus speaks the well-known phrase used in marriage ceremonies, "What God has joined together, let no one separate." The Apostle Paul also affirms the Genesis account of marriage in Ephesians chapter 5, adding that marriage is a picture of Christ and the church. We hold that marriage is between a man and a woman, and as such we do not see a biblical basis for same-sex marriage. We of course recognise that opinions and attitudes are ever-changing in all sorts of areas, but God's ordination of marriage predates the fall of Genesis 3, and therefore it should be our standard for marriage. Given that marriage is ordained and that people are joined together by God, we should not divorce. However, we recognise that there are some instances where marriages do end. There is healing and restoration available for divorced people at Connect Church, and being divorced is not a bar to serving at Connect.